Yo, what is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Entity Dojo podcast, your source for all things fighting related, whether that is combat sports or fighting games. And of course, we have some more UFC action. I mean, there is card after card after card. I don't think we've even been off a weekend since they started getting the ball rolling. After COVID hit, they were one of the first organizations to really get pro sports back into circulation, and they've probably made a ton of money and a ton of headway in being the first people to get all this stuff out, being able to test people consistently and stuff. So again, big shouts out to them. And of course, with the year we're getting very close to the end, it is December. Well, it's November now, about to be December. I hope everyone is staying healthy, staying well, and staying focused and getting ready to make next year even better, and hope and pray that next year is not as bad as this year. I don't think it will be any better, but let's just hope it's not any worse. But anyway, I'm about to just break down this card right quick. A pretty solid card. I mean, a lot of fun fights, a lot of good stuff to watch. Of course, we do have some vets up in there. We have Shogun, who is really on the tail end. He's kind of dragging it a little bit too, similar with Anderson, who fought I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, one of the two. But these older guys are sticking around a little bit too long, which tends to happen in combat sports a lot. I mean, it does happen in other sports, but I feel like it's not as scary, or what's the word I'm looking for? You're not as concerned. If you see a 40-year-old guy trying to stay in and play basketball, it's just kind of funny. Or if you see someone trying to play tennis or gymnastics, it's just kind of funny. Or even sometimes it's very inspiring. When you see a guy that's 40 plus and he keeps getting knocked out, he keeps losing and things like that, you don't like to continue to watch that, even if you're not for lack of a better term, a fan of theirs, that you don't want to see that. Even if you're not a fan of Anderson Silva, it does get kind of sad to watch, and a guy that was once the best in the world now on the other side of his career, and he keeps getting knocked out, he keeps losing, he keeps getting hurt, and it's just he doesn't want to hang it up because he still feels like he's that dude, when obviously compared to regular people, he is that dude, but compared to the top of the top, his time has passed, and it's you see those guys holding on, and it starts to get sad at a certain point. I'm hoping that that's not the case for Shogun, but he does have a pretty tall task in fighting Paul Craig at staying at light heavyweight, doing this thing. Paul Craig is 13-4, 13-4-1, excuse me, and pretty studly dude. So we'll have to see. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not age discriminating, because obviously there are a lot of fighters that have been able to come back and do some amazing things at later ages. Randy Couture comes to mind. Romero, this dude is still freaking amazing. He's 42, 43. It happens. But it's just certain stuff that you kind of see, you know what I mean? When they keep losing and losing and losing. Rashad Evans was another example. I think he was almost forced into retirement because I think his brain started swelling or something crazy like that. So it's just really bad to see. But with that being said, I would say I'm gonna take I think I'll probably take Paul Craig on that one. Next fight is gonna be good lord, yo, what the fuck are these names? I'm sorry. It's gonna be Caitlin and Cynthia. I'm not even gonna try to say her last name. Give me Cynthia. Next one is Platinum Mike Perry versus Tim Means. And of course, you all heard the news about the whole little spat that Darren Till and Mike Perry had. I'm not getting into that. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's never a dull moment with Mike Perry. And I know he also had to have a lot of weight to cut. I believe the weigh-ins are probably in the morning. So we'll all know if he made weight or not very, very soon. But he is a character, man. I mean, he's never a dull moment with that guy. I mean, whether he's throwing his racial slurs out there, whether he's eating burgers and chicken sandwiches on live, gaining 40 pounds and then having to cut another 20 to make weight, he is a character, to say the least. He is a very, very interesting flavor of a human being, I would say. Very, very interesting kind of guy. But, I mean, he is who he is. I mean, I feel like there are some guys that, like, they act this way and that's how they are. I mean, he just seems like he's just a little off. You know what I'm saying? Like, which, I mean, look, if you're signing up to get punched and kicked and strangled and beaten on for millions, sometimes not even millions, but thousands of dollars. Like, you're signing up for that, and that's your job. That's what you sign up and go into work to do, or to get done to you. So you got to have a couple screws loose to do that for a living. But Mike Perry is definitely a special kind of individual. But I'm gonna have him taking that probably by a decision. Nah, I think, I don't know. We'll see. Well, first of all, let's see if he makes weight. That's number one, and then I'll give it to him by decision. But I will say, though, if he doesn't make weight, I do agree with Israel Adesanya with the whole taking like 80% of the person's like prize money and stuff, or not prize money, but their fight purse or whatever. Just because like it's kind of messed up. I'm like, you need to follow the rules. In other sports and stuff like that, especially at like an amateur level, you don't get to compete. Like when Taekwondo, if you miss weight, you don't get to compete at your weight. You know what I'm saying? And they don't give a damn that you just spent like $1,000 to fly out here and another $1,000 for the hotel for the weekend. You signed up to fight at whatever weight it was, so therefore you have to fight at whatever weight you signed up for. It's simple. Anyway, I hope he makes that weight. I have him winning the fight, probably by decision. Should be a decent fight. I mean, it's like the UFC cannot make a bad card at this point. Like, there has not been I really can't think of, has there been a bad card since the pandemic? Every card has at least been good. There's been some outstanding cards. There's been some amazing cards. We have some great fights, some rivalry fights. But there's also been, like, there's also been some, like, freaking lifetime achievement fights type of stuff. But there really hasn't been a bad card, I would say. So I think this is going to keep the ball rolling. A couple more cards until the year ends. Next, of course, is the lovely and talented Valentina, the Bullet Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. Dude, like, I mean, the Bullet, like, she's on the Mount Rushmore of women in MMA, or just like, I mean, because like if you do men and women in MMA, it's going to be like fucking 10 people. But let's just separate it. If it's women of MMA, it's definitely the Bullet, Amanda. I put Ronda there, even though like the way her career ended was not ideal. She did do a lot for the sport. She did change the game for a lot of people, and she is a big reason why a lot of women are getting more exposure and things like that. So I would say Amanda, Valentina, Ronda Rousey, and I think maybe 4 or 5. The fourth would be, oh my god, I can't think of a fourth right now. Maybe Joanna, but I don't. I'm just gonna keep those 3 right now, and I'll add to the list later on, because off the top of my head, I'm like drawing a blank, and it's like stupid early when I'm at the time of this recording, so my mind is not all the way there. But I definitely got Valentina taking it. I would say by knockout, probably in the second round, I would say. I mean, she's always looking good, always improving her skills, and she's looking hungry, and now she's challenging Amanda for a third fight, and I would like for it to be at Valentina's weight, where she holds the belt for that belt, just because if she loses a third time, it would be the real Triple C. Amanda would have the 3 belts, which would be amazing for Amanda, amazing for women's MMA, and that would solidify her spot as being like the GOAT of MMA. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's male or female, because that's a GOAT-like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing that really, like, is impossible, damn near impossible to do, male or female. Because I mean, there's so many little variations that come in with changing weight. You might be a little bit too slow if you go down to a lower weight. If you go up to a higher weight, you might not be strong enough and things like that to deal with like the grappling and things. So if she's able to do that, go up to the bigger weights when she knocked out Cyborg, then stay at her natural weight, or then go all the way down to fight Valentina, that would be amazing, and she would literally be super duper GOAT in the real Triple C. Shouts out to Henry Cejudo for coining the phrase Triple C. But she would definitely be the Triple C of the UFC and go down as the greatest female fighter and arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. So that would be dope. But that is all contingent on if Valentina takes it over Jennifer Maia, which I believe she will. All right, and now we have Davidson Figuerado versus Alex Perez. Figuerado, really strong fighter. I believe he was the dude that missed weight in his first title fight. Won the fight. Didn't get the title, then had to run it back. Got the title, is now the champion. Looks really solid. I think the champ is going to take it just because we haven't seen him in a while, number one. Number two, still very hungry. I know, I think it's like when like certain guys, like when they get championships, like you'll see like what was that boxer's name? Damn. It wasn't Victor Ortiz. Was it Luis Ortiz? I forgot his name, but freaking like the chubby dude who knocked out Anthony Joshua and then freaking he was already fat and happy, but he got like fatter and happier, like fired his coaching staff, like did all this stupid stuff, and then ended up losing the title right afterwards because he's like, oh wow, I got the belt now, I get all the money, I get all the women, blah blah blah, and he kind of like fed into his own hype, which I don't think Figueiredo's gonna be doing that just because like it is so hard to get title shots in this game, and I think he's gonna take it over. Excuse me, take it over Alex Perez. But it should be a good card, man. I mean, it's never a dull moment in UFC in the UFC. I mean, great card after great card after great card. Whether that's headlining with Anderson, whether it's Israel Adesanya fighting, whether it's having Amanda come on there. They've really been able to like spread out and show the love to all their champions, but at the same time, put a good amount of quality on their cards. Have a ton of good fights, man. So it's great. It's really really good. But I can't wait to see it this weekend. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to win? That being said, man, it is the Entity Dojo podcast. I am the International Sensei. Please follow me on Twitter at Sensei_Global21. International_Sensei on Instagram. The Entity Dojo podcast is on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and all of those things. Enter the Dojo podcast. I'm also going to be coming out with some wristbands, which when I go to like events and stuff, people will be able to buy them. I don't know how much I'm going to sell them for, but people are going to be able to buy them, and just another good chance to promote my podcast. If you like what I am talking about, or you just like to hear my voice, man, please share. Social media is such a great tool. Share as much as you can. But with that being said, man, I am the International Sensei, and we must now exit the dojo. Us.